excited to see what comes out tonight in this reading. Wasn't really planning to do a reading, and then was compelled to do one, knowing, receiving the guidance that there are some messages that need to come out right now for this group, synchronistically drawn to this reading. Having a feeling that it has to do with these intense energies around the summer solstice, which we're in right now. It's a really intense time. It's like, you know, we feel the moon cycles, we feel things around that. This kind of energy is like that amped up. It's like, you know, this summer solstice energy, particularly right now, it's very compressing. It is putting energetic pressure on us to level up, to expand, and to really clear out any blocks, any fears, any shadows are being illuminated. So it is a challenging time. It feels like boot camp, like I would imagine boot camp feels. And I mean like real boot camp, like army boot camp, like trying to see if you'll quit boot camp. That's what these energies feel like. So it's been difficult, and just know that if you've been going through this, you're not alone, and that there's a message here that's coming out for you. So see what it is. Okay, the thinking woman is coming out right now. And this is, yeah, this makes sense, because what these energies are going to do is they're going to push you within. They're going to really drive you within, because it's a time where if you are looking to the external for reassurance or for guidance or for direction, it's going to turn you around. You're going to get turned around. You know, for weeks in the readings, we've been receiving the messages about being anchored down in the guidance, being anchored down, really, really solid in the divine wisdom, the guidance that we've been receiving, your inner knowing, your inner compass. And that's been a message for a while, and I feel like now is why. Because this is the time when it's like, yeah, this is when you have to be anchored down within. So it's like, picture yourself as a compass, and you have to be calibrated to due north in order to make it through this time. So that's why these energies are really making a lot of us go within and draw upon that inner wisdom, that guidance. But you see the butterfly here, and that is talking about this metamorphosis that's happening right now. I keep being drawn to the sunset and watching it while I'm doing this reading, and it's synchronistic, because this time with these energies that are, it really feels like something ending and something really about to happen. And you know, of course, that happens a lot in a lot of ways. But I myself, and let me know if you're feeling this as well, but I'm shifting from a time of really feeling the difficulty to now feeling the excitement. And it is kind of, maybe it's like that boot camp thing, because you're like, oh, I've almost made it. I've almost made it. And you know, like you're almost about to graduate, or, you know, to be at that next level. Yeah, that next level of balance and of union within. This is union within, the feminine, the masculine, the yin and the yang. And this is balance and union with the divine. So what I'm getting with that thinking woman, and then this, because the thinking woman, it is a feminine energy, but it's like it also is about the feminine masculine balancing, because it's about the balance of emotions and coming more into the masculinity, the being able to ground things down. And if it's for someone who's a masculine, then this is also the balancing of their feminine and their masculine, being able to use those two sides, those two hemispheres of our being. So that's the shift that I'm seeing so far. Yeah. It has been a time of going inward to feel and to calibrate with this balance and really get it fine-tuned. Because, you know, this balancing has been going on for a long time in this collective. And it has been masculine, feminine, balancing within. But this is the fine-tuning. This is really the, like I said before, the getting rid of anything that might be standing in the way at this point. And those things may feel like issues and pain that you've already felt and purged and healed, and that we're having to revisit that. And that is the case, because there's still another layer, there's another layer underneath. Yes, you have done the healing. It doesn't mean that work hasn't been done. It doesn't mean that what you've done in the past, you know, went away. No, it's just that now you can go even deeper, and that's what's coming out here. This deeper and deeper healing. Every drop being squeezed out of us. So you're feeling this now. But again, this is on the cusp of something really great, because what happens when this heart is broken and all of this is kind of scraped out of it, all of this old pain, is that it's now bigger, expanded because it's broken open, and now able to be flooded with that divine love and with expansion. Able to expand, to hold everything that's coming in. Really hold it, so that it can be a new day, a new existence, a new way of being, of living, of loving, of connecting. Okay. So now, of course, we're in a time not only of the heartbreak, but the anxiety. Because when we feel the heart pain, the emotion, then the mind, you know, your mind is going to jump in and say something's wrong. But as you've learned on this journey, you know, it is all about intercepting, not allowing that mind to tell you what's going on, but your soul telling the mind what's going on. So right now it's really important to be informed by the soul and not the mind, so that you know, okay, this heart pain, and kind of rendering is the word they're giving me, rendering of all this old pain out is good. It is good. Even though it hurts, it's good. And I'm not going to allow my mind to convince me otherwise, that there's something wrong, or that I'm on the wrong path, that I've somehow, you know, that all of a sudden everything I had faith in and believed in is not going to happen. And this will be mirrored out in the world around you. This is why, as you're, you know, kind of looking to other people, maybe turning to other people, maybe just dealing with other people, you're experiencing this from them in different forms. It might come out as conflict. It might come out as them being anxious with you, them being irritable with you, or vice versa. But this is just the mirroring out of what's happening. And of course, when you get two freaked out people trying to communicate, then everyone's freaking out, you know? So you may have noticed these past few days that people are sensitive, getting their feelings hurt more in your conversations. Maybe things are not being taken as they're intended, and maybe you're not feeling like you're hearing things right from other people. That's this happening and being mirrored out. Okay, so it is really important to, and I'm grateful for this reading, thank you, because I'm hearing this too, and it's good to know and hear. So, important once again, more important than ever, to allow the soul to drive. And of course, you're doing that by quieting the mind, making the mind get in the back seat. Making the mind get in the back seat. You know when you're riding with somebody in the car who just cannot ride in the passenger seat because they're going to stomp on the imaginary brake and go every time you do something? I'm not naming any names, but people come to mind. And you know how you're just like, okay, maybe you haven't said this, but you're thinking like, you're just going to have to get in the back seat and close your eyes because this can't continue. That's what we have to do with the mind. That is what we have to do with the mind. We have to be like, okay, mind, back seat. I'll let you know when we're there. I'll let you know when I need you. Because we cannot allow the mind to be that kind of passenger, and we certainly can't allow it to drive 1111 on the counter. We certainly cannot allow it to drive, because that is, you want to run in the ditch, then allow that mind to drive, right? Or go back to somewhere you've already been. Go back to where we started. Incredible low-flying plane right there. And planes are a sync for me, so amazing. And if they are for you, there's one right there. Okay, so fork in the road. This is what I was feeling. This is what I was talking about, that excitement. Like, okay, something's about to happen. Like, we're about to change the direction. We're about to reach a fork in the road. It's like we've been going down this path, and we're about to, like, tomorrow, I'm just feeling like this big thing about the sunset. Tomorrow, it's like we're reaching that fork in the road, and it's going to be time to turn or to move toward the light in whatever way. And you're going to know. You're going to know. If you're tuning in to your guidance, if you're listening, you're going to know. So pay close attention. This is about paying very close attention to your guidance, excluding everything else. You know, this fox is looking through the telescope, only focused on that moon, which is the intuition, which is the guidance. He is not looking all around him. And he's on top of this egg, and the egg being that balance, that union, being balanced. And the egg also represents intentions, co-creation with the divine. And so remaining, not allowing that to leave, to roll away, or not abandoning it, but staying there with those intentions and focusing on that guidance. That is what to do right now. That's the guidance we're receiving. Thank you, thank you. Knowing that we're coming to that fork in the road, and knowing that as you're at that fork in the road, it is so important to focus in. Use that image of the telescope, and imagine yourself looking through like that fox to your guidance. Oh, it came out again. So yes, this is the guidance from this deck. So really, really focus in. As you are faced with any decision at all, okay, right now, any decision at all, stop. I mean, I know it feels like you make a ton of decisions every day, and just slow that process down is what they're saying, is what Spirit's saying. It's like, slow that process down so you can really focus in, because you are coming to that fork in the road, and it may seem like a small decision, but it's going to determine your path. And you want that path to be determined by the soul. Now is not the time to change course, or to change calibration. You know, you've been working on this. So now we have reach out. This is red, indicating in the physical world, reaching out. And this person who is in the card, she doesn't look like she's reaching out. She's pretty, keeping to herself. But she's being lifted up by the guidance. She's being lifted up by these big hands, which are indicating, this otherworldly, this divine help. And she is receiving it. She looks pretty unsure, but she's staying still. I'm I'm going to ask for clarification about this because there are a couple of things that this reaching out could mean, and I want to be clear. See, I'm trying to do the thing of really, really paying attention to each and every little detail. Yes. Okay, so as clarification, we have a 3 to the 4, which shows progression. And this is physical world with the red and heart chakra with the green. So it's like moving forward in your physical world from the heart, moving forward in your life from that heart space, from that heart knowing, and from that heart vision. It's the opportunity beckons card, and in this card, the man sees the opportunity, but he's turning away from it, and he's contemplating, not unlike that fox who's looking at the moon. He's contemplating the guidance. He's thinking, like before that decision, before he makes that decision, before he goes into that opportunity, he's reflecting. So what I'm getting from both of these is that this is a time when you're being queued up, you're being lifted up, literally, and you're being presented with a big opportunity to expand. And it is your choice. And this could take the form of many things in your life. This could take the form of a relationship. It could take the form of a job. It could take the form of a move. It could take the form of doing something that's a huge expression of who you are. And the thing about both these cards is that the person in the card is not being active, but they are receiving the guidance and they are tuning into the guidance. So now is the time we're being guided to be with that sense of opportunity and expansion, and take it very seriously. I'm getting like, take it very seriously. They're bringing me back to that army thing, where it's like, you know, you're ending that boot camp. Okay, the boot camp is ending, and you're like, thank God that is over. I survived. Okay, and then you're being maybe, and forgive me if I get my military things wrong, crossed up. But in what I'm getting is, you're then being promoted to, you know, your rank, your new station. Okay. So maybe you're becoming an officer or something like that. And you're getting the higher ranking person now is coming to you and saying, this is a very serious thing. This is a very big deal, you know? It is not something to be taken lightly. It's also not something to have fear about, because you've been prepared. But it's something to really hold in high regard as you're moving into it, and look at yourself that way. You know, it's time to look at yourself and go, wow, I made it through that. I made it through that. It is time now to reflect on what you have done in this, and Spirit's really hammering this home with me, so I know I'm just supposed to do this, even though I'm just kind of going off here. It is time for you now to look at what you have done with the divine, what you've done in walking this path, in expanding, in everything you've done to get you here to this moment where you're listening to this message that you've been guided to hear. And know that what you've done is amazing. Spirit, God, your guides, your higher self think what you've done is amazing. So you need to look at that and go, that is amazing. And of course, you know, give the glory to God. Of course, be grateful to God in that. And also appreciate what you've done, the work you've done, and where you now are. Because you're now being given this divine opportunity, whatever it is for you. And maybe you don't even know what it is yet, because this summer solstice energy, this can feel like you're being put, the pause button is on, okay? And you don't know. And that's okay too. But just know that whatever it is, whatever it is, it will soon be revealed, and it is this huge, huge thing that you have made it to. You have climbed that mountain. I know, that's a lot of metaphors, but I'm hoping you are getting it. I'm certainly feeling the energy right now. And so, yes. Wow. Woo. This is hitting me hard. Remember who you are. Archangel Michael. I'm gonna let you read it, okay? Cannot read this one. So, everything I just said, right? Everything I just said, Archangel Michael just came in with a big amen. Thank you. So, wow. Wow. Okay. I'm going to feel into whether there is one more message or not, because I have one more deck here, but I kind of feel like that's complete. Nope, there is one more. Okay. Wow. And then to help me, it went, wow, and came flying out. That's cool. Thank you. Okay. It is Nautilus Angel. And I am going to get the book. I believe this has to do with the feminine energy. No, I was thinking of a different one. I'm glad I looked. Okay, this one is, it is a 2, going back to that balance. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so this is, be prepared to accept help from others. And this is about accepting that divine help in all the ways that it's going to be coming. Because now, yes. I'm sorry, I'm just gleaning what. Okay, so there's a message here about having felt up to this point like you've had to do a lot on your own. And really because you've been on this path, feeling like you're doing a lot in the face of a lot of resistance, because that is the case. You know, you've had to change a lot in your life. You've had to face a lot of things in your life and say, okay, that doesn't resonate with me anymore. And of course that's brought resistance within yourself and the situation, the person, the place. So this is talking now about receiving the help that's coming to you. Receiving, and I'm getting receiving the benefits, yeah. Okay, so what they're giving me now, okay, this is again about you've made it through that hard part, you've made it through, soldier, and now you are being moved into that, you know, higher spot, and you can receive the benefits. You can receive the help. And it is time to receive it. It's time to receive it. Wow. Okay, this reading is really emotional for me. If you feel this energy, please share that with me. It's about being able to lay down some of those burdens. And okay, I told you, it's been a trying week. I feel like some of you might be crying with me. Tell me if you're crying with me, please. And if you're not, that's okay too. It's totally fine. It's all perfect. So it's time for you to receive. It's time for you to be at that new level, that new place where you have graduated. You have graduated. And you get to enjoy a lot of things now that you were not able to enjoy before when you were, you know, really, really roughing it in the spiritual sense, okay? So you're coming now. Remember who you are. Remember that message. Remember who you are now. You're not who you were. You're not who you were, and yet you are who you've always been. You are not who you were, and yet you are who you've always been. Okay? Underneath it all. Underneath all of that. And now you get to receive. God is saying it. God is saying it right now. It's your time to receive. So when it comes, when those opportunities come, when the things come, and your mind might want to stop and question and go, wait, is this right? This is new. This is different. This is that fork in the road. This is way different from where I've been. Do I do this? Receive it. Receive it and know that it's divine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. And yeah, that powerful. And I hope to hear from you, and we'll talk soon.